Well, hello, and good time of day to you. Welcome back to Air-Cooled Motorworks. On this episode, as promised, we'll be setting timing, flushing the oil, or oil change, setting the valves, I think I promised you guys, and flushing the fuel system. But stay tuned, we're gonna get this thing up a little higher and let you guys see how to adjust some valves. Okay, yeah, pretty people of internet land. What we're doing right now is the valves. We set them to 6. I think I said that in the other video. Across the board, spec is 6 and 8. First thing you're gonna do, we pre-loosened it. We're not this strong, or I'm not. Yank off the cover, the old gasket. We'll be replacing it, but that guy looks brand new. Actually does, or newer. These are your valves, the rockers. Well, those are your valves with the springies around them. These are your rockers. First thing you do is put the engine TDC. That stands for top dead center. You guys can see it, but this thing should be moving, unless this engine won't run. But, boop, boop. There we go. TDC. All right, we got you rolled over to number 1. Tell that, loose, loose, loose on cylinder 2 intake. Stock cam, stock engine, usually what we do is we'll adjust cylinder 1 on TDC, also the intake of cylinder 2. The other side, you can adjust cylinder 4 intake, exhaust, all on TDC for cylinder 1. Roller over 180 degrees, that'll give you access to adjust exhaust on 2, intake on 4, and number 3, as you would number 1. So basically 2 rotations of the engine. You can adjust all 8 valves that are in this thing. Saves a lot of time than going, trying to find TDC for every cylinder. So with that said, let's see what these things are at. Like I said before, they sounded a little loose if you picked it up in the video, and they are. They're not that bad. I got a 6 thou feeler gauge. I mean, they're not too. I was expecting worse. They're probably about 8. To be honest with you, this one we will adjust. She is loose, loose. So 13 millimeter nut holds on this jammer. Give it a little loosen, bring her in just a bit, and tighten her. See what we did. Now there's slight drag on that for 6. We'll go across. Pretty much you just want slight drag on them, on the feeler gauge. Well, that's terrible. Sorry for that cut, but this nut is rounded. I wanted to dig up 6.13 millimeter just so I can get it on here without doing any more damage with the wrench, and being able to loosen them. A lot of times it's 12 points. These guys, if you don't get them seated right, this is already damaged, but if you don't get them seated right, you'll end up walking the lobes. And if you continue trying to do that, well, you're just going to have a round nut. Just shows that these things were way too snug. Just going to go in there, give them a little bit of a twist. Now what you're doing is you're holding the slot, tight so it doesn't move, and then you're snugging it up with the wrench. See what we got? Like I said, you're looking for slight drag on all these. Sometimes they take, you don't get them right the first time. Slight drag. Slight drag. We already know number 1's good. So those are all good. I'll just go back with this wrench and just, or ratchet, excuse me. If is this work? No, it's not. And just give it a slight click. All right. I'm going to run over to number 4, exhaust. And do the same thing over here. Like I said, this will be a loose one on this side, TDC number 1. And this one is rounded too, so we'll just crack it loose with the socket. Need a screwdriver, don't I? Let's see. What happened? Also, kit cars, delightfully known world round for giving you all the access in the world to work around or work with. Yeah, this one's way loose. So, all that. Can't see a thing. All right. Tightener. Too tight. Back it off a smidge. Valves also not my favorite thing to do. Smidge more. How many smidges do you need? There we go. Slight drag. No, go there. Same thing on this one. Hold that center and give her some tightening. There we go. So right there, number 4 is adjusted. Now what we're going to do, roll this engine over. You won't be able to see it. You might. Now what we're doing, take our handy dandy ratchet, roll it over another 180 degrees. So what that's going to do is put TDC for cylinders. Oof. That was a compression. Can I go past it? Well, that wouldn't be good. Hold on. Boop. Where are we at? All right. Where we need to be. Align the mark. So we did. Rolled her over another 180 degrees. Ow! I broke a nail. Well, that's no good. All right. What we did right now is rolled her over another 180 degrees. So that's going to put us exhaust number 2 at its close point. Cylinder number 3 at its close point. And the intake for number 4 at its close point. And I don't know if you can hear this, but intake 4, really loose. I think that was the runnability issue. 2 seems a little sloppy as well. 2 intake. Man, this is annoying me. Just might as well break the rest of it off. Can't. All right. Wee, whoop, boop, beep, boop. All right. As you can see with the 180 rollover, tight, tight, tight. Those are the ones we already adjusted. Beep, 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 beep. Clunk loose. So we'll go in there. Give her a little kick. Loosen that one. See where we're at. She has a little drag. Eek, eek. Alright. Grab your wrench, grab your flathead in the correct order. Hold said flat and tighten. We like to give her a little bit of a bump with the ratchet just because. Boop. All right, let me slide you over to this other side. For reasons of looseness of valves. Earthquake. All right, this guy. Goodish sounding. Light play, we'll check them. They don't even feel like they're off. Oh, she's tight. Scratch that, they will be adjusted. All right, intake 3 is good. Exhaust 3 is tight. The old hand feel let me down. Got to get her recalibrated. Loosen her up a bit. Throw a 6 in. Slight drag. Wibble wobble. And I saw that move. Guys, got to hold this the whole time. All right, tight. Let me double check it because that screw did move. Way loose. Well, that was a swing and a miss. Good job. Got a little nervous when I saw that screw move a lot. Overcompensated. Put her back. Slight drag. And again, we'll just bump her over. Just make sure she's seated. All right, main reason, number 4. That has a lot of play, and that is probably the cylinder that I heard in the video. I mean, this thing, what do we got? XX, that ain't even touching. Like I said, these engines, the V-dub engines, do have like clicks. It's like a BMW slash engine. Slash, 2.5, so on and so forth. What do we got? See if a 15 will go in there. I'm just curious what this thing is. Oh yeah, 15th thou went in there. It's in there so good she's stuck. So, I'd call that a bit out of spec. Let's loosen her up, let's dial her in. Oh yeah, I'll work it. Touching, let's see, whoop. See what that's at. All right, getting drag. Still needs more. All right. Let's give her a little more than I would want. All right, we're making progress. That should be it. It is not it. That went too tight. I was close. Overcompensated. All right. Try it again. That should be it. Maybe. What are you doing again? Come on. A little looser. All right, that is it. That is optimal positioning for this valve to be set at 6. Look at that. Slight drag. Boom. Done. Valves adjusted across the board. Everything's good. Let's not forget to give it a little bump, just for safety. Alrighty. Valve's done. All right, valve's done. We just got to plop those covers back on. I'll do that when the oil's draining. Right now, drain the oil. I'll just basically cut that. You don't need to see it, oil come out of an engine. Trust me, it comes out. You'll know this because I'm also going to pull the screen and clean it. I'll tune back in when I get the screen out and let this thing drain. So, pull this pan. She was pretty dirty, pretty sludgy. I can't even tell you an estimate on the last time this thing has probably been off. A lot of times what happens with these cars is, because some plates do have beep, drain hole, drain plug, they'll just pull the drain, flush the oil, or, drain the oil, and add new. They never actually pull this plate off. So you usually end up getting a bunch of accumulation. Usually end up getting a bunch of accumulation under here. Be sure you pop the old gasket off. Don't reuse them. Buy new ones, they're cheap enough. Make sure that plate's clean. Next is the actual sump plate. We'll see how bad this thing is. It's just a screen that's up here. They hopefully pull right down. Pull right down. All right, there we go. And this, for all intents and purposes, man, that is some thin stuff. This, for all intents and purposes, is your actual filter. Let me bring it to the end and show you. You might be able to see all the crud that's built up on these things. Inside, I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but there is a bunch of stuff in there as well. But if you have a Volkswagen, pull these out. You also see all the debris and stuff. It is just a screen. It'll catch, marbles, rocks from going through it into the system. But that's about it. Doesn't really it's a screen. It's a sieve. But nice and clean. We'll reinstall it. New gaskets. When you put the nuts or studs, whatever decides to come out on you, make sure there's a copper gasket on the other side of it. If you don't have that copper gasket, these things will leak. The thing is, a Volkswagen, they leak. But try to mitigate it as much as possible, if you will. But let me get this cleaned up. Showed you, dump the oil. Let me get this stuff cleaned up. New gasket, zip back on there. We'll refill the oil. Fire this thing up and set the timing on her. Drop the oil. Cleaned all that stuff, pans back on, or some pans back on. Just, tech tip, when you guys are going to put those 6 screws back up there, don't tighten them to the moon. You'll end up stripping out the block. Like I said before, these things already leak. If you're a Volkswagen person, you know they leak. You're just helping make them leak more. Rant over, but 3 quarts of, we're running Rotella, what the hell, 1540. 3 quarts of 1540 in this thing. Into the crankcase. After that, we'll fire her up, get her warmed up, and then we'll come back to set the timing on this thing. Because last video, we just got this thing running. We moved it around a bit, but that's about it. Put the light on her, get her to where we want them. We do 28, so 28 degrees at 2800 RPM, full advance on this range with the 009 distributor. But stay tuned, be back shortly. I'm gonna film this, but I guess we are. Seems like we lost spark in the system. Was running it up, just quit. So it's one of two things. It's either the electronics we just put in just took a crap, or something in, or the coil is dead. So what we're going to do is we're going to slap in a new electronic distributor, see if it'll eliminate that issue really quick. But we'll get it running. Stay tuned. Don't know what that was all about. New distributor in. I guess that shit the bed, for lack of better terms. New 009 in. We're back to where we were. Letting this thing warm up so we can set timing. With that said, I'll be back to you again. Well, hello again. No, we're not setting timing yet. We're doing what I forgot to do. What I said I was going to. We're replacing the spark plug. We're using some NGKs. And I think we went with a 6. Be something 6E words, letters. BR5-6HS. Just gonna shove them in here. I don't know if I'm gonna record this because it is not convenient whatsoever. Of course, lock. But let me get all these things changed. And I'll get back to you with hopefully setting timing again. Don't worry, it's coming. We will set the timing. And we're back. She's running behind us. Timing, finally. What we're gonna do, we got our light all hooked up. I don't know if you can see it. We'll drag you in. First thing we're reading about 1550. It's a little high. Big screw on top of the carburetor. Turn her in. Want to get her to about 900. Got to make sure she's off the choke. She's now 500 something too low. All right. We're at 600. Now we go with the big screw. Turn her up. Right there. We'll walk around now. With a properly adjusted cable. All right. So we're sitting about where we need to be. Now we're just about where we need to be. And here, see. I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up with the timing light on this or not. But we'll try to get you in. What we're doing is we're flashing, and there's a mark up here, which is your timing mark. I don't know if you can see it, but right now you're aligning that mark with the case. What we're going to do now is, now that this engine is where it's supposed to be, timing wise, raise the idle some. Now we're back where we are. Advance is working. What we do with these is I set my gun to 28. Notice marks over there. That's just confirming we're getting full advance 23s at 28. Right now, she's where she wants to be. She's sounding happy. So we'll lock down the adjustments and call her good. Still going to go back, replace this fuel line. There is a filter back here. I don't like it in the engine bay. And other than that, we're buttoned up. We'll take her out for a test drive. But figure I'd show you. Draining the system down, and then we'll refill it with some new high test, and then we'll get on a test drive, most likely. All right. Super duper. Stay tuned. All right. As promised, let's take this thing out on a test drive, see what she can do. We did fix the shifter. Forgot to record that. It was, well, not good. Huh, wipers work. Lights work. Well, there you go, guys. First time this car's been on the road in about 5 years. General maintenance from us, tune up, new carburetor, threw a distributor in. I put about 30 miles on it. I don't know how much I'm going to show just because of the amount of wind that was going on. It's a cold day here. I think we're right in the 50s, and no heat, no windows. It was cold. But you know, that's what I do. Make sure that when customers get their cars back, they can enjoy them, hopefully on warmer days. But with that said, that'll do it for this episode of the MG kit car we have here. It's a fun little ride, I'll tell you that much. Sounds like it's going to fall apart, though, as most kit cars do. But anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave a comment, give me a like if you want to see more of this content. We'll have some other stuff coming up pretty soon. Have a good one.